Okay, here we go. What I want you to do is I want you to look directly at the camera lens. I know most people don't do that, but look directly at the lens, lower your brow, and with your eyes, I want you to cut into this camera sensor, okay? You ready? That's all you gotta do. All right, take 10 in 3, 2, 1, action. Action. Come on, man. Cut. Hey, man.
What are you doing here?
I'm trying to shoot this promo and I cannot get anything from this actress. I don't understand what I'm doing wrong. Is there any way you could say something to her? Maybe you could try it because I can't do it.
So, not the right tone or not the right feeling? What are you going for?
Nothing. None of it's right. None of it's right.
Well, let's see a take then.
Okay, I'll show you. Okay, take 11. Here we go. I need you to do the complete opposite of anything you've been doing. You ready? All right, and recording in 3, 2, 1, action. That was the same thing as last time. Come on.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, nothing at all.
No energy.
Yeah, she's giving me nothing.
Yeah, you're right. Pretty lifeless.
Exactly. Look, nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, hey, what if we brought in someone for you to play off of? Maybe a co-star? What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Tavern Talk. I'm Philip, and joining me this week, Stacy Misenheimer. Thank you for being here, Stacy.
Thanks for having me, Philip. I love the show.
Oh, man.
I'm a fan.
Absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate you saying that, and
yes.
Absolutely appreciate you being here, taking the time to see a movie with us and do this afterward. But, you're a filmmaker yourself, correct? Made a lot of short films, a handful of short films at least, and I guess what kind of sparked that love for filmmaking in the first place?
Jaws.
Okay. Hey.
I wanted to be able to, it's not the fear factor for Jaws. It's more the story. I'd like to be able to tell a story, and Jaws has a story within a story with Quint.
Okay.
And telling the scar scene.
Yeah.
Since you got a movie and then you got a story, I wanted to be able to do that.
That's really cool, and that kind of makes sense for why you were like, hey, if you need somebody to talk about M3GAN with you, I'm in line, because obviously I'm not comparing M3GAN to Jaws. But there's a little bit of in terms of tone and genre there, definitely some connections. But this week we're here to talk about M3GAN. It is the new Blumhouse Universal film produced by James Wan. If nothing else, you might see James Wan's name on something and say, hey, that might be pretty good. Mostly I'd heard of this because of the internet.
Yes.
And seemed to go pretty crazy pretty early with all the GIFs and the memes and everything like that, because this is about basically an evil doll who also happens to do some dancing. So
I think that was a TikTok with the dancing too.
It feels tailor-made for the internet almost.
It completely does. It completely does.
But I'm happy to report we just walked out of this and feeling pretty high rather than low on it. But what was your initial reaction to M3GAN, and did it meet kind of the expectations you were holding for it?
M3GAN's a fun movie. I wish it wouldn't have been so, I don't know what the word, campy or whatever, to where it sticks with the, this is like a Chucky doll movie, something like that.
Right.
I was looking for something a little darker.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, it's its own movie, and I enjoyed it. I've only seen parts of the first Chucky.
Okay.
And I haven't seen any of the doll movies because I'm just so busy filming, but it's like, this is its own thing, and I like that. It didn't try to be those. It tried to be its own thing, and I like that.
Yeah, no, it definitely kind of owes a little bit to the Child's Play series.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Chucky.
And of course, James Wan is famous for bringing Annabelle to life through the Conjuring series and everything. It definitely knows where where it comes from.
Correct.
It's very aware of its history and everything, and the history of evil dolls in movies, I guess I should say.
Yeah.
But yeah, you kind of spoke about the camp of it all, and
Yes.
this definitely leans into that.
Yes.
And for me, I was glad that it did that. I didn't, like I said, I didn't really know what to expect going into this. I saw, the clips on the internet and everything, so I kind of expected it to be a little dumb.
Yeah.
And there are parts but I always think there's definitely some intentionality behind that.
Yeah.
Goofiness, and so I found myself laughing a lot at this.
Yeah, I did too.
And really had a good time with it.
I did too. I came into it wanting to like the film, but was expected to be like, okay, this is just going to be a silly film that's not going to do anything. I actually think they have something here.
Yeah, again, I expected this to kind of be a dumb, play it by the numbers thriller
Yes.
that was not really about anything more than just kind of showing off this doll they had at the center of it and kind
That's
of
right.
making fun with that. But yeah, you're right. It does present itself in a fun and campy way, but does have kind of a serious message at its heart, or I don't know how serious, but it definitely is talking about something and has something on its mind, which was a little unexpected. But what did you get from it? I guess what was kind of the message you received?
Honestly, the message I received is we need to be better parents.
Yeah,
and they're going to make a doll that's going to kill us all.
Yeah, they're going to replace us all.
Yeah, that's right. I think and that's what also brings it into our homes.
Yeah,
is the way with kids, especially. I've got kids and they're older now, but if you needed to make food or make a bottle or whatever, you set them in front of a cartoon.
Right.
And that's basically what they're doing with this. It's the same. It's an older version of that. The toy that never grows up. You never grow out of the toy.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It was definitely they didn't think long term on developing M3GAN. They should definitely, but yeah, you're right. And I'm a parent as well, and have younger kids, and it's hard. Like you're saying, when you're juggling so many things, it's easy to just plop them down with an iPad or in front of the TV or
cell phone.
Exactly. I mean, there's so many devices these days, and yeah, it definitely is kind of addressing how much do we rely on that to raise our kids? How much?
That's scary.
Yeah.
I mean, even for me looking inward, that's scary. Like, man, I should have been a better parent.
Well, yeah, it definitely
teaching my kids.
It definitely raised a little bit of guilt in me as well, because it's just like, oh man, it's that kind of double-edged sword of like, they don't need a lot of that, and it needs to be limited. But when you have to have something to do or are busy or something, and you need something to distract them, you rely on it at the same time.
But then you got to worry about things like, remember that what was it, Momo or whatever?
Yeah, well, that's exactly right, and that's kind of because you have all these things that are supposed to be helpful, and a lot of the times they are. But you also, with all the possibilities, all the platforms that are out there, you don't always have a grasp or a control on what they're able to access.
And they're sponges. The kids are little sponges.
Yeah.
They can watch an iPad or a phone or something, and they'll know how to fix a car before I even know what the problem is.
Exactly right, and that can get as like sinister as you want it to.
Yes.
Or because it's definitely out there and possible in the world and everything, and that's kind of where M3GAN comes in to be like, hey,
it's kind of the go-between.
Yeah. M3GAN is like, just M3GAN the movie. Like, it's like, hey, this is kind of what we're going to comment on, and it does a really, really precise job of like saying just how far things can be taken if you go down the right rabbit hole, I guess. But yeah, I thought it was really sly in kind of presenting that message while being, having this facade of being very campy and very fun and very funny. And so it will probably reach a broader audience for that, but it'll actually kind of leave you thinking as you walk out of the theater, be like, yeah, that was fun, but
hold on now.
Man, I really need to reassess my my parenting
that might
skills
not be a
here.
bad thing, and it was PG-13 too.
Was it really?
It was.
I didn't realize that. That's interesting then.
And I will say this: if you've seen the trailers, like I've seen them, all of them, it doesn't give the movie away.
Good, because I'd only seen a little bits or the clips on the internet and stuff.
I was watching them today. I was like, there's a new one.
So that's good to know. I didn't. I was afraid because it's easy to see how it could have given away some of the best parts.
Yes.
With you being a filmmaker and everything, I did also want to kind of talk about the filmmaking around this. I haven't heard of this director previously. His name's Gerald Johnstone, but it was written by Akilah Cooper, who also wrote *Malignant*, which when you put those two together. Have you seen *Malignant*?
You'll always be stuck with me.
Okay, yeah. Well, go if you enjoyed this. I think you'll enjoy *Malignant*.
I'm going to watch it.
Yeah. So the writer of *Malignant*, obviously James Wan, has a story credit and produces this, but and he directed *Malignant*. So a lot of connective tissue there, but very smart about how it approached the subject matter and how it presented it. Just what was your kind of thoughts on how the movie played out, the direction, the execution of it from a filmmaker's point of view?
I think, like I said, I wish it was a little darker. But I still think, for what it is, it's a modern day Child's Play is what it is.
I'm Chucky.
I mean, I did like, a lot of the scenes, the way they, shot the lighting on her eyes, and the corners and stuff like that. That was really good. I'll say this is not a very violent film. However, there's obviously, deaths in it or whatever, but it's not really violent. I think that the whole Doll series, in my opinion, kind of brought that on from the 80s gory stuff, The newer Doll stuff kind of killed all that, because it's not about seeing, somebody's finger broke off. It's about, the thought of it.
Right.
That's what I think.
Yeah. No, it's, I was actually surprised by how ruthless it kind of ended up being
Yes.
with certain aspects.
Yes.
Again, we won't go into spoilers, but yeah, M3GAN causes, creates some waves in these people's lives. Namely, we should say Allison Williams from Get Out plays the main character.
Yes.
And Get Out just made me not trust her at all. So I had a hard time kind of warming up to her.
Good. She did good.
Yeah.
She acted good.
Yes.
I thought she was a good actress.
And you said specifically after the movie, you thought the young girl, I think her name is Violet McGraw, who was playing Katie, the main little girl in it, how good she was.
I think she did great. There were some times that I felt like that, she was a little too aggressive.
Yeah.
But I mean, she was just doing what she told, and she delivered what she was told. For me, it wasn't. I don't want a film to drag me through. Okay, you're mad now. I want to be able to feel what the woman, however it's kind of interpretive. I want to be able to think on my own.
Right. And M3GAN as a character, I guess we should kind of comment on that as well. But I thought she was really well executed. The way they kind of escalate her, her evil. How she kind of continues to grow and become more aware, more intelligent, more just
more scary.
More scary. She's definitely. I said the word sinister earlier. That's kind of the vibe they end up with M3GAN, and accomplished it really well. And that part did feel kind of. It felt more effortless. It didn't feel as...
Yeah, it flowed. It
exactly.
escalated the way it's supposed to.
Escalated. Thank you. That's the word I was trying to think of. It
was paced out real well with that.
And there are a couple other, human characters in the film too. Kind of one of the most notable ones is the CEO of the toy company that Allison Williams works for.
That guy, he's probably a really good actor. He just didn't work for me.
So his name is Ronnie Chang, and he plays the CEO of was it Funky?
Something like that.
The toy company.
I can't remember.
And he is so over the top.
Oh my goodness.
So over the top. And I kind of liked it because he was just it was clearly just go for it.
Yeah.
They just kind of let him go.
Over dramatic, and that's what it is.
Yeah. And it really made for people in the audience who maybe weren't aware that this was going to be silly or a little campy. I think he was kind of the character to confirm hey, yeah, you're good to laugh at this, know. So I kind of enjoyed his that aspect of it and his performance. But
M3GAN, she talked. Really, that's the best part of the best character in a movie was her.
Oh,
because when she talked, you felt like it was meant to be said.
Yeah.
And when she just stared at you, you're like, I know what she's thinking. That's what I was talking about, not pulling me through.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me think on my own.
Yeah, which is because it is a doll, because she's supposed to have this artificial intelligence and not actual consciousness. It makes it even more scary.
Could you imagine if they would have went darker with that doll?
Well, hey. You develop that a little bit. See
as we've seen in the intro,
the sequel.
As we've seen in the intro, I can't get the doll to do anything.
Fair enough. That's great. Well, hey, that's as good a time as any. So at the end of the review, as good a time as any to get to our kind of star ratings here. So at the end of each review, I do an out of 5-star initial reaction rating of the movie. Obviously, we just walked out, so this is kind of your gut feeling, your gut reaction to it. But what would you give M3GAN out of 5 stars?
3.5 to 4,
Yeah,
somewhere in there.
I'm
Leaning more 3.5,
That's yep.
3
that's-
3/4.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna go 3.5. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm right there with you on that.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. I don't think, it's the first weekend of January.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'll remember this by the time April comes around. But
I don't know, man. They had a killer song for it. Baby dolls kill, don't provoke us or we will, or something like that. Remember?
I'm gonna have to look that up.
It's in the trailers.
Baby dolls kill, don't provoke us or we will.
Yeah, but I didn't really.
And
watch
I was
the
like,
trailer.
and then they had they marketed this film, and I was like, man, it's got to be good. It's got to be good. It's got to be good. And it wasn't bad. I would go see it again. It's just that now going it again, I know what I'm expecting.
Yeah.
And I can sit back and soak more of it up. You
I really feel like now that your expectations have kind of been set, I feel
Yes.
like you'll be able to enjoy it more the second time around.
I enjoyed it the first time. It's just a couple of things were a little off, but other than that,
Yeah.
not bad at all.
No, yeah, I didn't really have any expectations, and I had a really fun time with it.
So that's what I should have done.
Yeah, it really is, and you might be right. Like it may leave a more of a lasting impression than I expect it to. I don't know that it will. It feels kind of frothy, a little lighthearted, January release, but I had a really fun time with it, and would certainly recommend it to friends. Like if you're
Yes.
looking for a good time at the movies, this is
Yeah.
definitely one, especially after like all the December Oscar bait stuff. Yeah, I think that's two hearty recommendations from both Stacy and I.
Yeah.
But thank you once again for doing this,
problem.
man. I really
enjoy
appreciate it.
I enjoy it.
Thank you.
I had a good time today.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Well, I like I said, I really appreciate you doing this, taking the time to do this. So thank you, and glad you liked the movie.
I did.
And thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, hit the like button. All that stuff helps. We upload a
Share.
new review of share it. We upload a new review of the biggest release a couple times a month here, so definitely check that out and look for those. Thank you to the Movie Tavern for letting us see the movie here, shoot the show in their theaters. Really appreciate them. If you have a Movie Tavern near you, definitely venture out and see M3GAN there. But that's it for this week. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks again, Stacy.
Bye.
Peace.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Whew, man, I'm glad that's over with. That was horrible.
Yeah, I can't disagree with you there, but I am excited to see this movie. Where did you say our seats were?
Oh, they're right.